They said she was the quiet one, the shadow behind the real heiress, the girl who never fought back, who simply faded into the background. But they were wrong. Serena Vale wasn't quiet. She was listening. She wasn't fading. She was observing. And she knew everything long before she was reborn into the second chance. Her rebirth wasn't about revenge in the way you might think. No screaming matches, no dramatic confrontations. No, her power was something far more subtle, more chilling. It was the quiet, undeniable force of competence. It begins in a boardroom, a place of loud voices and inflated egos. Serena's name is on the attendee list, almost an afterthought, consultant, temporary, replaceable. The executives are in a panic, shouting about catastrophic losses, about numbers bleeding from a wound they can't find. Serena sits perfectly still, her presence barely a whisper in the storm of their arguments. She lets them exhaust themselves, lets their ignorance fill the room. She already knows where the problem is. She's known for months. When the noise finally subsides, she speaks. Her voice is soft, almost gentle, a stark contrast to the chaos. There's a flaw in the overseas acquisition, she says. It's not an accusation. It's a simple statement of fact. A few of them smirk. Some offer a condescending, polite laugh. A girl like her. What could she possibly know? They dismiss her. 3 days later, the flaw she mentioned erupts. It's not a private failure anymore. It's a public catastrophe. The stock plummets. Panic turns to dread. In the frantic whispers that follow, someone remembers her words. Someone says her name. Serena doesn't smile. She doesn't need to. The first crack in their perfect facade has appeared. Leela Vale, the celebrated heiress, watches Serena from across a crowded ballroom. She remembers a different girl, one who was always a step behind her, head bowed, an obedient echo. But this Serena, this one is different. She's distant. Her stillness isn't timid. It's unshakable. There's a coldness in her calm that Leela has never felt before. Trying to bridge the unnerving gap, Leela approaches with a light, almost teasing tone. You seem different, she says, a statement masquerading as a question. Serena's eyes meet hers, and there's no flicker of emotion, no resentment, no sadness, just a placid, unnerving calm. People change is all she offers. The words are simple, yet they hang in the air with immense weight. And in that moment, a seed of unease plants itself in Lila's heart. Serena isn't trying to compete with her. She isn't begging for attention or pleading for her old place. She's just watching. And for the very first time, Leela is forced to wonder. What if the girl they threw away was never weak at all? What if her silence was never submission? Eventually, even the patriarch of the Vale family begins to notice. He doesn't see her as a discarded daughter he can forget, but as an unknown variable, an anomaly in his carefully calculated world. He calls her into his study, the air thick with unspoken authority. You have opinions, he states, his voice heavy with suspicion. He's testing her. Serena gives a small, respectful nod. Only when asked, she replies, her posture relaxed, her tone even. There is no defiance in her, yet nothing about her bends to his will. He studies her, trying to find a crack in her composure. You could have spoken up earlier, he presses, a hint of accusation in his voice. For the first time, she looks directly at him, her soft eyes holding an unwavering strength. I did, she says simply. You didn't listen. The silence that follows is deafening. It fills every corner of the grand office, heavier than any argument could ever be. That night, the powerful patriarch confronts a deeply unsettling realization. The loudest voices are rarely the most dangerous. The true threat comes from those who have no need to raise their voice at all. While the Vale family remains oblivious, the wider world is starting to talk. Whispers circulate through the highest echelons of finance rumors of a mysterious strategist who appears out of nowhere. a silent investor whose touch turns failing companies into gold. A brilliant mind behind a series of miraculous market recoveries. No one connects these incredible feats to the Forgotten Vale heiress. No one, except one man, Adrian Cross. A financial prodigy himself, a man known for dismantling entire empires with nothing but numbers and logic. His mind sees patterns others miss, connects dots that seem miles apart. He sees the ghost of the same elegant, ruthless strategy again and again. Intrigued, he requests a meeting. When he finally sits across from Serena, he doesn't waste time with pleasantries. He looks at her, a glint of recognition in his eyes. "You hide well," he says, a statement of pure respect. A faint, genuine smile touches Serena's lips for the first time. "So do you," she replies. And in that shared moment of understanding, Serena feels something she hasn't felt since her rebirth. She feels seen, not as a failure, not as a discarded spare part, but as an equal, a player in the same grand game. Behind the closed doors of the Vale mansion, the arguments grow more frequent, more desperate. The family is hemorrhaging money and influence. Leaks, losses, public exposure, their perfect world is crumbling. In a fit of paranoia, someone suggests getting rid of Serena completely, removing her from the company, from their lives. "She's harmless," Leela insists, but her voice is a little too quick, a little too shrill. The denial sounds like fear. Meanwhile, miles away, Serena is doing the opposite of what they suspect. She isn't sabotaging them, she's correcting their mistakes. With each contract she signs, with each new project she discreetly guides, she isn't destroying the Vale Empire, she is fixing it. And that is so much worse for them. Her success is a quiet, constant judgment. It proves, without a single boastful word, that she had always been this capable. When success follows her, again and again, the truth becomes an undeniable, glaring reality. They hadn't just lost a daughter. They had thrown away their greatest asset. The moment of revelation doesn't come with a bang, but with the quiet hum of a projector. An unexpected announcement flashes across the screen at a major industry conference. A groundbreaking merger, one that will reshape the entire market. And the name leading the new conglomerate, the architect of this incredible deal, is Serena Vale. Her name, clear and powerful, echoes through the hall. Faces go white. The patriarch stares at the screen, his expression unreadable, his empire slipping through his fingers. Lila's hands tremble in her lap, the cocktail glass shaking. Then, Serena herself walks onto the podium. She is the picture of composure, her presence commanding the room without a single grand gesture. She looks out at the sea of shocked faces, her gaze calm. "I never wanted your seat," she says, her voice clear and steady. "I wanted acknowledgement." She pauses, letting the words sink in. "But I don't need it anymore." The applause that follows is slow at first, then grows measured, respectful, inevitable. In the silence she had cultivated, power had shifted, and she had won without ever declaring war. That evening, Serena walks alone through the city. There's no big celebration, no triumphant party. The victory doesn't bring a sharp, satisfying thrill. Instead, there's a quiet sense of peace. She thinks of the girl she used to be, the girl who endured the silence, who buried her own brilliance to make others feel comfortable. She realizes she didn't come back to destroy them. She came back to reclaim the person she was always meant to be. As the sprawling city lights reflect in her eyes, a final truth settles deep within her soul. Being discarded wasn't the end of her story. It was the only way it could truly begin. Thank you so much for watching. If you were captivated by Serena's quiet rise to power, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. You won't want to miss what she does next.